One. Yeah. Elijah, upon your upper dome, means rise and face the east. We are going to get into the prayers. Repeat after us.
Lord's Prayer in Hebrew, Matthew chapter 6, verses 8 through 13. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakutka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Barak, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathanaw, Lacham, Ko, Yawam, Wasalakanaw, Kabawatnaw, Kasalaknaw, Kabawatnaw, Bala'ah, Dabi'anaw, Ramsawon, Abal, Hawshanaw, Bayan, Ra, Kaya, Baka, Malakwa, Wa'al, Watapara, Ba'alam, Aman.
The Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts, as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Amen.
Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Al-Hahari, Mayan, Yaba'ah, Azari, Ma'in, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Waratazah, Ayatan, Lamawat, Ragol, Al-Yanawam, Shamar, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Shawamah, Yasha'ab, Yahweh, Shamar, Yahweh, Tazal, Ayat, Yam, Yawamah, Hashemat, La'ah, Yakaka, Wa'ara, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamar, Bakal Yashamar, Atnapaska, Yahweh, Shamar, Taza'at, Wa'at, Mayat, Why? I will not.
Psalms 121 in English. I will lift up mine eyes to the hill. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out, and thy coming in. From this time forth, and you forevermore.
Prayer for Hakat, the power, in Hebrew. Yahweh Shem Yahushai, Babakashah, Athanaw, Hakat, the Rapa'ah, Kalmakalah, Kalmarawat, Hakat, Latahar, Hamatazarah, Hakat, the Hakim, Hamakim, Hakat, Arakawat, Atama'al, the Garsh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Wadamah.
Power in the English, Yahweh, and the name Yahushai. Please give us the power. The power to heal all manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it.
Pray to bless Israel in the evil. Yahweh Shem Yahushai,
Barakanaw,
Wayashal, Waha, Bayat Sapari, Barak, Rafa'ah,
Magan,
This time you can say the name of a loved one once, everyone repeats that name once. If you're following us on social media, you can type in the name of a loved one, we'll send the prayers up with you.
Israelite School UPK.
Israelite School UPK.
ISUPK, it's like ISUPK Minnesota.
ISUPK Minnesota.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Generals.
Generals.
It's like Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Angels.
Angels.
Generals.
Generals.
Captains.
Captains.
Officers.
Officers.
Troopers.
Troopers.
Students.
Students.
Sisters.
Sisters.
Children.
Children.
All of Israel.
All of Israel.
Kudash Zion.
Kudash Zion.
Terah.
Terah.
Amagabar.
Amagabar.
Kanagabar.
Kanagabar.
Ainawa.
Anawa.
Izara.
Azar.
Kawa.
Kawa.
All of Israel.
All of Israel.
Rakawana.
Kawana.
Dekaya.
Dekai.
Satharia Ali.
Sataria.
Shagaria.
Shagaria.
Kabat Tabak.
Badaba.
Kabat Yabar.
Badaba.
Tawala.
Tawala.
Yakudash.
Shagwadash.
Benaya Ali.
Benaya.
Tim.
Tim.
Cliff.
Cliff.
The Rollins family.
Rollins family.
The Slaughter family.
Slaughter family.
The Willis family.
Willis family.
The Daniels family.
Daniels family.
The Pearson family.
Pearson family.
All of Israel.
All of Israel. Israelite School UPK.
Israelite School UPK. House of Terah.
House of Terah.
Joel Washington.
Joel Washington. It's like Joe or Joel?
Joel.
Joel?
Yeah,
With
Joel.
an L?
Yeah, come.
Joel Washington.
Joel Washington. I don't know, Slag, if I'm saying this wrong. Kenneth Johnson.
Kenneth Johnson.
Emma Johnson.
Emma Johnson.
Maddie.
Maddie.
Justine.
Justine.
Izara.
Azar.
The Kelly's family.
Kelly's family.
The Wiley family.
The Wiley family.
Dwayne Davis.
Dwayne Davis.
The Davis family.
Davis family.
All of Israel.
All of Israel. Awesome Makabi.
Awesome Kabi.
Israelite School UPK.
Israelite School UPK.
UPK Minnesota.
UPK Minnesota.
UPK Milwaukee.
UPK Milwaukee.
UPK Chicago.
UPK Chicago.
Benjamin.
Benjamin.
James. Whitney. Annalie.
Annalie.
The McIntosh family.
Maxtosh family.
Raphael. Young man B.
Young man B.
All of Israel.
All of Israel. I think let's see. Yeah, that's it for now.
Bashem Yahushua.
Bashem Yahushua.
Waramah.
Bless Israel in the English. Lord, in the name of Yahushua.
Lord, in the name of Yahushua.
Bless us in Israel.
Bless us in Israel.
In the school.
In the school.
Bless Hill shall protect.
Bless Hill shall protect.
Loved ones.
Love.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Psalm 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Al-Damiyah Lakah.
Adam Yalakah.
Al-Tafarash.
Ataparash.
Wal-Tashakwat.
Atashkwat.
Oh. Kayahna.
Kayahana.
Awabika.
Awabika.
Yahami Yawan.
Yahami Yawan.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al-Amak.
Al-Mak. So like Al-Amak. She said one time.
Al-Amak.
Al-Amak.
Yair Yam.
Yair Yaman.
Sawad.
Sawad.
Wayita Yair Tazwa.
Wayata Tazawa.
Al-Tazwa Pant.
Atazapamka.
Maru.
Mara.
Lakab.
Lakab.
Manakagidan.
Manakayadam.
Magali.
Magali.
Wala'ai Yasakar.
Wala Ayasakar.
Shamya Shah.
Shamya Sha'ala.
Awad.
Awad.
Kayat.
Kayat.
Naitazwa.
Natazwa.
Labad.
Laba.
Yakaru.
Yakatu.
Ayak.
Ayatka.
Bayat.
Baryak.
Yakurak.
Yakarak.
Ahali.
Aholi.
Adawan.
Adawam.
Wayat Shemai Alayam.
Wayashima Alayam.
Mawab.
Mawa'ab.
Wahagari.
Wagari.
Kabal.
Kabal.
Wa'amuan.
Wamuan.
Wa'amalak.
Wamala.
Halashak.
Falashak.
Amyashak.
Ayushak.
Tazawar.
Tazabor.
Gamashawa.
Gamashu.
Nalawak.
Nalawa.
Amam.
Amam.
Aywa.
Ayawa.
Zarawak.
Sarawat.
Abani Lawak.
Abayalawa.
Salah.
Salah.
Aisha Laham.
Ashalahum.
Kamadi.
Kamadi.
Kasiyat Sarah.
Kasiyah Sarah.
Kayabi.
Kayabi.
Mankhal.
Wanakol.
Bayashwa.
Bayashu.
Nashamaru.
Nashima.
Bayanda Aru.
Mayanda.
Aywa.
Haywa.
Daman.
Damon.
Ladam.
Ladam.
Shatam.
Shantam.
Nariya Mau.
Nadia Mawa.
Kaira.
Kaira.
Wakazaa.
Waksa
Wakazaba.
Kataba.
Wakatazal.
Katzo.
Manat.
Manat.
Kalanasai Kam.
Kanasa Kamu.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Amaru.
Amaru.
Nairasha.
Nairasha.
Lanawa.
Lanawa.
Nawa.
Alahaya.
Alahaya. Shatam. Kagog. Kakwash. Tapanya Rawkat. Kaash. Tabairi. Wakabahala. Kalahat. Hard. Khan. Darda. Asara. Wabasa Wapaka. Talaham. Mala'a. Panyaham. Falawan. Wayabakwashu. Shamka. Yahweh. Bashu. Wayabahaw. Ayah. Wayakaparu. Wayabadu. Abadu. Okay. Wayadaibu. Kayata. Shamka. Yahweh. Labaka. Adawan. Call. Rakaza. That was beautiful. Psalms 83 in English. Do not thy silence. O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace. And be not still. O Yahweh. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult. And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. And consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, let us cut them off of being a nation. That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom. And the Ishmaelites. Moab. The Garians. Cabal. And Amalek. The Philistines, the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur is also joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Doing to them as unto the Midianites. As to Sisera. As to Jabin. At the brook of Kison. Which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make the nobles like a red. And like Zeeb. Yea. All the princes as a Ba. And as a moon. Who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. Oh my God. Make them like a wheel. As the stubble before the wind. As the fire burneth the wood. And as the flames set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest. And make them afraid with thy storm. And fill their faces with shame. Let them seek thy name. O Lord. Let them be confounded in trouble. Forever. Yea. Let them be put to shame and perish. That men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. Power church. Blessed are you, Yahweh. King of heaven and earth. And all things living. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Listen to us now. Right now. See, he was a curse. Punishment and destruction. To the heathen. That speak against us. Like prophets. The teachers. The princes. The priests. The Israelite brothers. In the school. See, he was a curse. Punishment and destruction. To the heathen. And shake loose. The treasure of the rich of Israel. That refused to give to the school. Force their riches. To enter thy sanctuary. To use and curse. Punishment and destruction. To the Edomites. In the nations. And the drug dealers. The fortresses. The prison systems. Planned Parenthood. All the governments of our enemies. Amalek synagogues and arms. Roman Catholic Church. Pope. Islam. Christianity. Scientology. Militia. Ku Klux Klan. Aryan Nation. Skinheads. Oxmatazi. Gay. The lesbians. Spies. Works of witchcraft. Nazi space program. Army. Navy. Air Force. Marines. Wall Street. Open up the internet. And airways. That they will access channel. And the radio channel. Convict the spirit. Of any of thy people. That seek to stop us. That bring swift destruction. To all the evil that stand in the way. Try to stop us. Broadcasting your word. Throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the blood. Cause them to go to and fro. Through the earth and consume them. Let the plague shake the house. Of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahushua. Michael and Gabriel. Come down to flying saucers. Punish all the evil.
that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause to be known by all. That is, the angels have done it. Cause to be spread through the media. Throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at that covenant. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you always. So be it. So sorry. You got it. You guys should blow that one more time. Yeah, no, you blow that, then I have you one. Yeah, how about you? I'm sorry about the thought. Like Yahshua. Yahshua, see it? No, it's just the camera. There we go. All right, yeah, that should be better. All right, slide. All right, for those that's online, so we just got done reading the prayers. Now we are going to get into Ezekiel, the 11th chapter, once again, verses 15 through 21. All right, that should be 7 verses. And we are going to read into the Tanakh, or better yet, the second priest, right next to me, Officer Mangabar, is going to read 7 verses into the Tanakh. And if you don't know what the Tanakh is, it's a book where it actually has the Hebrew, or otherwise, sometimes the Syrian. But you want to get the one that has the Hebrew, all right? And then we are going to translate it into the actual English. And you may begin.
Okay. Ezekiel chapter 11, verse 15. Bind it down. Achiyat. Achiyat. Nashi. Galata. Wakobana. Yashal. Kalahat. Ashar. Amaru. Laham. Yashabi. Yarawashalam. Rapakwa. Ma'ala. Yahweh. Manawa. Ayat. Nathana. Parakazat. Lamawarusha. 16. Lakan. like the Makan, Ma, Kaha Ma, Adania, Yahweh, Kayat, Parakakwatim, Bagawi, Wakia, Wakayat, Hakayat Zawat, Baratazawat, Wahayat, Laham, the Mabadash, Ma'ai, Baratazawat, Bashar Baha, Sham, the 17, Lakan, Amar, Kaha Amar, Adani, Yahweh, Wakubata Zati, Akam, Akam, Man Ha'ani, Wasapati, Akam, Man Ha'arakazawat, Ashar, Napatazawatam, Baham, Onatati, Bakam, Adamah, Yashar, verse 18, Wabawa Shema, Yahasi Yarawa, Ko Shakur Rakazai, what I call the Wa'ai Bawakia. Mamana is 19.
That's interesting.
Wamatati, Laham. Labar, Akkad, Rawak, Khadashah, Athan,
I know how it should be.
Athan, Bakwa Rabakam, Wahasaraki, Labat, Haban, Mabasharan, Wanatati, Laham, Labat, Bashar, that's 20.
No, you fine. You got it.
Verse 20. Lamaina,
You fine.
Laman, Bachakwati, Yalako, Wa'at Mashapati, Yashimaru, Wa'ishwa, Athan, Wahiya Layat, La'an, Wa'anyu, Ahaya, Laham, La Alahain, verse 21. Wa'al Labat, Sokwa Wata. Sokwa Wata Zayano. Wata Wa'adwati. Laban. Halak. Barakam. Barasham. Nathaki. Naam. Adami. Yahweh.
Yeah, we'll son of Christ. That's right. Hey, if y'all was listening very closely, the brother Mungabar read that shit like, excuse my language, but he read that shit so perfectly. All right, it was beautiful. And of course, as you continue to study and read in the Tanakh, you start to get better and better. But for example, Mungabar, I mean, I believe that this brother just got a gift of reading things in the Hebrew. You know what I mean? I might need to, recruit you to the Lashman Kodash if you don't mind. Just one of these days. It's one of these days, because that was beautiful, man.
Well, if I may, it's a damn good class to teach too.
Say it again.
It's a damn good class to teach too.
So. Wow, I appreciate that. Yeah, God, like shit. Mungabar and Tarab definitely know how to. They have an eye and an ear for it, if that makes sense. They definitely got a gift for that. All right. See what I'm saying? And they even good on the worst days, if that's even a thing. If y'all even have worst days, they are very fluent and good on it. And it becomes second nature. It becomes natural as you continue to study and get into it. All right. So that was Ezekiel 11 chapter, verses chapter it was like verse 15 through 21. So now we are going to get into the actual Bible portion of it and break it down. All right. Before we get into that, just to recap a little bit. Once again, these few chapters have kind of been the same. It's been very drawn out and very detailed about what the Lord was going to do to the children of Israel because of their actions, their decision making, their sins, and things of that sort. All right, their abominations and how you say inequities. Right. I know a lot of people say it a little differently, but just based on their lack of discipline, their lack of obedience to the Most High has sent out a prophet by the name of Ezekiel. All right. To go ahead and correct the people. So, go ahead. Iniquities. Yeah, iniquities it sounds better. Yeah. All right. So we are going to get into Ezekiel 11 chapter, verses 15 through 21. You may go ahead and start, unless you want to go up a few verses. It's up to you. Okay, that's what. All right. Just if you see something, you wasn't here last week, right? Okay. Let me just see something real quick. Okay, go to verse 11 real quick, because this was a good point that a sister was asking about. It's a good precept.
Yeah. Ezekiel chapter 11, verse 11 in English. This city shall not be your cauldron, neither shall ye be the flesh in the midst thereof.
Mm-hmm.
But I will judge you in the border of Israel.
Now, you know what cauldron is, right?
Yeah. It's like a pot.
Yeah. It's a pot. So pretty much, this entire chapter was talking about how the Most High will judge those wicked men of Israel that were part of this cauldron. Pretty much, it's just a metaphor saying like they were mixing. They were mixing and having pretty much a lot of death going on in the streets, just like today. In the Christian church, you have what is called a cauldron. You have people who stir up all the strife, the envy, stir up all the crime, the drug dealing, you know, all the violence. A lot of people always say, you know, how come anything that we do in the streets as far as trying to fight against violence, how come it doesn't work? You have to look at the people in your city. Don't just look at the people who are pulling the triggers and committing the crime. You have to look at the ones that is at the office, the ones that is with the senators and the presidents and things of that sort. That's who you have to look at. Because the people that are in high position of power, because Christians and politicians have a lot of power. They don't physically do things, but they, with their mouth, they move the entire world. They move the entire city. That's why, like it's so easy to get a politician to be elected. It's so easy for a president to be a president or a person to become a president. It's so easy because of word of mouth. Now this is going to be the third week that I brought out this precept, and this is relevant. Okay, if anybody does not remember, Titus 1:11, when it says that their mouths must be shut because they subvert whole houses. The word subvert means to destroy, to crumble down, to what's the word? Desolate. You know what I'm talking about? Desolate, like destroy, destruction, decimate. Or
desolate is more of an adjective.
It's more of an adjective.
Decimate would be more of a verb to like destroy something.
Or better yet, woe, because woe means death or destruction. All right. And you know, when you subvert whole houses, I mean, you ain't got a black man in a crib. You don't have protection. You have a woman who is trying to raise the house on her own, and that's not going to last for long. See what I'm saying? And now we have strong, independent black women. See what I'm saying? The only thing that a black woman should be independent on is that man. She has to lean on that man and not on herself. She can't raise herself. Okay? And you know, if you are a woman who has had your father in your life, you understand exactly what I'm saying. All right? You know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you was a good, you know, child and obedient to your father and your mother, you stayed out of a lot of trouble. See what I'm saying? You didn't rebel against what they said. But in this case, long story short, the children of Israel, the wicked people in Israel was conjuring up all this wickedness to the point where it was causing black and Hispanic people to die in the streets. Did they physically slay people? No. But because of their words, it's no different with the Sadducees and Pharisees. Because what is that precept when it talks about the Sadducees and Pharisees? Yes, but also what else? Like it talks about do what they. Yeah, you know where I'm going?
I can paraphrase.
Yeah, go ahead, paraphrase. You ain't got to grab it, just paraphrase.
Yeah, like what the things that they were teaching, the laws that they were teaching, you know, keep after the laws, but don't do the things that they were doing because they were not keeping the laws.
That's
they
right.
Would tell people to keep the laws, but they were not keeping the laws.
There you go. Yes, and that's now another precept would be Matthew 5:18, when it talks about you know, those that keep the law and teach the law shall be great in the kingdom of heaven. But those that teach the law but do not keep the law shall be least in the kingdom of heaven. And that's, you know, I kind of hate to say it because I don't want to give these people credit. You have some Christians who teach the law, but they don't keep that. You see what I'm saying? They always say, practice what you preach. You feel me? Like they always say that, practice what you preach. And they don't apply any goddamn thing. And the sister's absolutely right. Do as they say, not as they do. There you go. Most High in Christ. The water, sister. I appreciate that. Because that's absolutely right. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know, everybody does things in public, you know, for public service, eye service. When it comes to, you know, Christianity and all these other religions and things of that sort. In EPK, we serve the Most High when no one is watching. We serve the Most High all the time. We just don't come to class Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Fridays and Saturdays, you know, to make ourselves look like we're, you know, men of the Lord and women of the Lord. And then the days that we're not here, we're just off just doing whatever. Like, no, like this is an everyday job. This is what you have to do. You have to apply yourself because, otherwise you look like everybody else in the world. A lot of people that come into the church, or goes into the churches, they are having what is called a facade. They have a certain, they try to have a certain image about themselves. Yes, although I was at the strip club, although I get high, although I was messing around with, such and such wife, but when I come to church, all that is forgiven. That's not right, man. That is called something like that's a life of being comfortable and complacent. Like that is very disgusting. And once you get a little too comfortable, things will actually, start to pop up in your life to let you know that it's time to get uncomfortable. All right. And one thing about the truth, this right here is not comfortable. You are tested and tried all the time. In the Christian church, you are never tried. Life is the same. Nothing changes but the sin that you multiply in the churches. That's one thing that does stay the same. Or so like that's one thing that changes. In the Christian church, people think that they have changed their life, but you just added on one sin and forgot about the other. Right. See what I'm saying? That's the reality of it. And the truth, you have to let it all go. You have to hit cold turkey. But then again, you have help to help you strive and continue and to better yourself. Because no one is not going to sugarcoat and be soft on you. See what I'm saying? If someone really loves you, they would tell you to stop doing that thing that's hurting you. If the person doesn't say anything and they see you doing it, they don't love you. And I remember having a conversation, or it's like it. I remember hearing something like that way before the truth. And I was like, that makes sense. But then when you try to help a person, they always say, you can't judge me, only God can judge me. Well, have you ever wondered that maybe the Most High sent somebody else to judge your ass? Right. See what I'm saying? I mean, a dope fiend should know that it's dangerous to be a dope fiend. And a lot of people know that the things that they are doing can be deadly. It can end their life. But because of all the despair, all the oppression, all the demons that's just jumping you constantly, it's overtaking you. And sometimes you just don't give a damn. And you choose death. You wake up every goddamn day and you just choose death and you don't care what anybody has to say about it. You're selfish because you don't think about your family and your friends or the people that love you. And this is what was happening in Israel. This is happening very much all today in 2021. How do we know? Have you seen, have you seen the murder rates? As of today, the homicides have reached 56 homicides in Minnesota already. And that surpassed last year. It surpassed last year 3 months ago. That's terrible. All right. So I hope you get the point. Let's keep going. Yeah, I'm going to go to camera at this point. So like,
verse 12. You shall know that I am the Lord. Ye have not walked in my statutes, neither executed my judgments, but have done after the manners of the heathen that are around about you.
Now, this is the problem. The actions that we do today, everything that says or speaks or looks like sin, it comes from the heathens. You want to know why? Because the Most High never gave us sin. He gave us the law, statutes, and commandments. But as far as the other nations, they don't have the law, statutes, and commandments. Go read Psalms 147, 19 through 20. I believe that's 147 or 149, 19 through 20. Go read that and see who the laws and statutes and commandments was given to. It was given unto Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, which he is the progenitor of the Israelites. That is our daddy. That's our father. We was giving the law, statutes, and commandments from our father. The heathens don't have laws. How do we know? Because the coronavirus, they eat bats. Like when you look at the Bible, the Most High tells you not to eat a certain thing for a reason. Why? It's not because he dislikes it and he doesn't like it. It's because it's not good for you. If you want to go on a level of a medical term or a medical aspect, so to speak. A lot of the stuff that are unlawful can make you sick and make you, it can kill you. What is that one thing that you eat and you die in like 3 days? It's a certain unlawful animal that you eat. Sister Azara has said it. For the Sister Azara, you had said this. You said this last week. It's something that you eat that's unlawful, and you end up dying 3 days later. I forget what it is, but there's a purpose and a reason behind why the Most High tells us what to do and what not to do, and it's for the betterment of you. See what I'm saying? A lot of people feel like the Bible is a tool of oppression, and they always use that too because they always say that's a white man's book. See what I'm saying? That's a slave book. No, this is biblical record. Pigeons. Right. There you go, pigeons. All right. Yeah, I believe pigeons. That's a lawful animal. No, actually, no, that's not pigeons. No, pigeon is lawful. No, it's like it. Pigeons are it is lawful. So like it. Damn, what is it, man? What is it called? It's something else. No, yeah, so like it, because a pigeon's a dove, right? It's in that family. Yeah. Pigeon is in the dove family, which is the Most High's favorite bird. It's not a pigeon. It's something else. I think it starts with another P. A seagull? That might be a seagull, maybe. That sounds better. Yeah. No, that does sound better. Yeah. I think it is a seagull, most likely. Yeah. The water. I see you text me too. Yeah. Long story short, like pork, for example. Let's do something as simple as that. Pork, you get high blood pressure. See what I'm saying? Also, too, long-term period of time of eating a goddamn swine, you can also get certain cancers. All right. Also, too, you know how they always talk about parasites in your body? Worms in your head. Yeah, worms in your head. See what I'm saying? Also, too, like, go ahead. I was just going to say about the pig, and this will go for all unclean animals. Mm-hmm. As much, try as they might to give it a good diet, a clean environment, the Lord labeled them unclean for us to eat. Ain't nothing wrong with not eating bacon. Mm-hmm. They used to love bacon. Mm-hmm. Ain't nothing wrong with not eating bacon, just like there's nothing wrong with not smoking crack. Right. They're in the same boat spiritually. Right. The Lord said don't eat that animal because he made it unclean, unfit for human consumption. Right. Don't try to clean it up. Yeah, you can't like the Most High said, so like if I may, the Most High said that you cannot make straight what is crooked. And that is multifold precept in Ecclesiastes when King Solomon was speaking about that. Of course, these words are coming from the Most High all the time, all throughout the Bible, right? You can't make straight what is crooked, meaning whatever's unclean, there's not any amount of prayers of you trying to clean off that unlawful thing to make it lawful or clean. Like I remember as a trooper, it took me a while to really understand this battle that I was having with my family members. I was a trooper, and they was like, "Oh, you think you different now because you don't eat pork?" It's like I stopped eating pork 2 years before I even knew about Israelites or knew about the truth, because YouTube, that shit disgusted me. You remember that Coke and pork, the raw pork, and they just poured a Coke over it, and you see all the worms. Oh my God! Good night. That changed everything for me. I stopped eating pork chops, bacon, all of it. And the more and more time I stopped eating it, the more I started to realize that the smell of it was very disgusting. And also, too, I stopped shrimp, too. You know what I mean? I used to love shrimp. But when I found out that shrimp is really just a sea roach, I say, oh, good night. Right. And then also, too, that brown lining inside the shrimp is nothing but shit. I never knew that. I'm literally eating, shit. You know what I mean? I was like, this is crazy. Now the arguments when I was a trooper was, certain animals, that you say are lawful are bottom feeders. It's not about that. What it's all about is if it's lawful or unlawful. And I started to realize that my family did not understand what lawful and unlawful meant. So me being a trooper and understanding the meaning, I started to see why they wasn't understanding. So when I finally broke down what lawful and unlawful meant, they understood what I was saying. You know what I mean? because they thought, because I put it in the perspective of unlawful is not clean, lawful is clean. But they are so carnal. They were so carnal at the time. They was thinking that, meaning like you actually have to wash the food and stuff like that. I'm like, no. That's not what clean and unclean means according to the Bible. It's a different context. And like when I tell you, it took me a while to really understand. Like, well, how the fuck they not understanding? And then when one family member had said something, and I was like, okay, I see what the issue is now. And then they had another excuse. Here goes. We grew up off of pork. See what I'm saying? That's all we had. And then here goes another question. If you was on an island, they always say island. If you was on an island and you had none, but pork to eat, would you eat it? I said, I'd rather die. Ooh, and I said it with confidence. I said it with confidence at that time. And they got so angry. And I'm just like, y'all some evil ass bastards. I love y'all, but y'all some evil ass bastards. Why are you mad at me? Because I said I'd rather die. Because if I eat the pork, I'm still gonna die. I'm gonna have to answer for that. But I'm not gonna have to answer for not eating that pork. I'm gonna get a reward. I'd rather get a reward than get a punishment. You feel me? It's that serious. And then coming more into the truth and finding out that there's a story in Apocrypha about the 7 brothers and the mother who denied the pork from that heathen king. They died and they got a reward. Although it was gruesome and gory what happened to them, it was still righteous and it was perfect in the eyes of the Most High. And and I have no desire for unlawful things. I just don't. I get it. I literally get a headache with drug smoke. I cannot be around family for too long because they smoke cigarettes and weed. I can't do it. The worst smell is the goddamn Black and Milds. Disgusting. I hate that smell. It smells like burnt carpet or some shit. Like, excuse my language. Otherwise, unlawful food, I cannot tolerate the smell. It makes me want to vomit, and that's no exaggeration. That smell of shrimp and pork, I just can't do it. I can't. And also, too, you have replacements of things that you used to love. If you want to eat some goddamn pork, a replacement, like some bacon, get some beef bacon. I just bought some the other day, $7. Yes, it's pretty expensive. Otherwise, some turkey bacon. But I say the beef is a lot more better. You feel me? That turkey is kind of plastic to me. All right. But anyway, let's keep going.
So, if I could,
go ahead.
A couple things. Half on topic, half off topic. As far as some of those substitutes, they got delicious beef and turkey pepperoni. Delicious. Same texture, same flavor. I tried some vegan pepperoni. I personally, no. Shout out to who is it? Yawa, who been doing the vegan thing?
Officer Yawa Allah.
So like Officer Yawa,
New York, Yawa to the school.
The brother found vegan oxtail. Man.
Yo, that killed me. I said, damn.
And a lot of people, if that's not for you, no sweat. You ain't got to do it. But ox is lawful. But he wanted to go the vegan route. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That works for him, his system. Cool. But don't try to. There are healthier options out there that can give you a similar flavor. Instead of tuna salad, salmon salad. It's not that big of a difference. I know we're just used to shit like that because that's what we was raised up on. We was also raised up on getting molested and getting raped. But y'all against that. We was also raised up on trap houses and alcoholic parents. Y'all against that.
You just really hit a nerve right there for a lot of people because that was perfect. How you just said that, and that shuts the conversation down.
And it's a damn shame that we're going to limit ourselves to just those aspects of the law, but forget the weightier matters. We got to take this all the way because I'm the same brothers who was teaching the law and breaking it.
Right.
They would be counted least in the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah.
Who else was counted least in the kingdom of heaven?
John the Baptist.
John the damn Baptist.
Which is
I didn't even say it like that.
Right.
It's the brother.
That's Yahweh Shah's cousin, blood cousin.
And he was brought up real high because he did the work.
Right.
And he got brought down real low because he fell out the truth. Right.
And he got counted the least in the kingdom of heaven because he was offended by Yahushua.
Mm-hmm.
He's in that same boat as the Sadducees and Pharisees, who were teaching the law, or who were teaching the law but breaking the law, and who were teaching those to not keep the law.
Right.
It was their own actions. He was put in the same boat as them. Now, people don't argue against that statement against the Sadducees and Pharisees, but they want to save John.
Always.
He was in the same boat with them.
Right.
He taught the law, but he didn't keep the law. He fell away from the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people got to keep that in mind. This is it's a big picture concept when we talk about this Bible. It's not restricted to any individual unless it calls out that individual. Like in that case, it called out John the Baptist. In that case, it called out a larger group, the Sadducees and Pharisees. In another case, it called out the whole nation of Israel. In another case, it called out multiple nations of different heathens. You got to take it into context. You got to get the right information from the right people, which is why, like, a lot of y'all should stay on social media, man. That Clubhouse thing is not for everybody. You got to be seasoned in this. Debating is not for everybody. You got to be learned in this.
Right.
The best way to do that, put on all black and get in the class.
That's right. There you go. Hey, Most High in Christ. Yeah, no, that was perfect. Everything that he said. It's like, if I was y'all, make that a status. That first part. See what I'm saying? How they don't, what you say again? As far as the child molestation?
Yeah, like, we grew up with pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster.
Right.
We also grew up with drugs and cigarettes and molestation and rape.
But no one really speaks about that.
That part they wholeheartedly disagree with living around. But they don't want to let that bacon go.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, no, that was really a heavy ass point. Good night. Yeah, that was heavy. See what I'm saying? That shit sounded like poetry, if you ask me. Because that's the truth. Yeah, that's the truth. All right, let's keep going. But yeah, that was definitely a good point.
Verse 13, should we get to?
Yeah.
Verse 13.
No, actually, you skipped to 15.
Okay.
Yes,
Ezekiel chapter 11, verse 15. Son of man, thy brethren, even thy brethren, the men of thy kindred, and all the house of Israel, holy are they. Holy, and it's like not HOLY.
Right.
Just for the viewers. Israel, holy are they, unto whom the inhabitants of Jerusalem have said, Get ye far from the Most High. So, like, get ye far from the Lord. Unto us is this land given in possession.
Okay, so that's self-explanatory. So what is that really speaking about? Just in a nutshell.
So these was the inhabitants of Jerusalem had said, so these wouldn't have been Israelites. If they're talking to Israelites about get ye far from this, get ye far from the Lord.
Yeah, because in the early precepts of the chapter, the Most High said that he's going to scatter. I mean, he's going to have. Okay, so because it's heathens round about, the Most High is going to pretty much bring them to a people who are strangers, which are the other nations, to scatter them towards the other nations, because they had defiled the land and they disobeyed the Most High.
So like this is after we broke the covenant.
That's right. Yeah. So in the same chapter of 11, you will see how the Most High scattered Israel, but brought them to the gates of the other nations. Because it speaks about a stranger, and then a few verses later, it mentions the actual heathen. So that's when it's talking about the strangers. Yeah. So yeah.
Verse 16. Therefore say, thus saith the Lord God, although I have cast them far off among the heathen, and although I have scattered them among the countries, yet will I be to them as a little sanctuary in the countries where they shall come.
Now, we have seen this precept before. So what does this precept mean?
How would I say this? Like the same way that he kept that, he preserved the records for us to find out 2,000 years after, or 3, maybe even 4,000 years after all this.
Like how he hid the truth.
Right.
And then he brought it back.
He was still gonna keep a safe place. He was still gonna keep that sanctuary open for his people to come back to.
Yeah, that's right. So that's pretty much the point. So like also too, a lot of people that say that, the Most High has forsaken you, the Most High doesn't give a damn about you. Why did he do this and do that to you? You have to analyze and look at what you're doing in your own life, but also too, always understand that the Most High is a father.
Right.
Yeah, the Most High will kick your ass out the house if you ain't following the rules. No sweat. But it's also going to make it a way to where you can fix yourself up and come back. And that's in UPK too. You know what I mean? If you ever been inside of a council, or if you ever, been checked in a sense, there's always a way to where like no one gives up on you.
Right.
There's always a way to where you can, redeem yourself. See what I'm saying? You can come back and you can start over. All right. That's how the Most High rolls. That if that was not true, there would be no such thing as reincarnation. See what I'm saying? If you died, that's it. But of course, when you die, you always come back. Everything on earth that dies, the plants, the people, the animals, they all come back. All right. I think I even heard a story about even when even in space, when certain thing dies, like stars, and stars are stars is a ball of gas. Like there's something that happens. I forget the whole science behind it, but when the star so-called dies, in a sense, it becomes again, like it reincarnates itself or whatever, like it comes back. All right, and that was very interesting. Interesting when I heard that too. But yeah, keep going.
Verse 17. Therefore say, thus saith the Lord God, I will even gather you from the people and assemble you out of the countries where ye have been scattered, and I will give you the land of Israel.
Now, this is exactly what we just talked about. The Most High is saying, like, look, he will give us the land of Israel back. He will guide us back to that place. But of course, in order for that to happen, we have to do whatever he says to do. In order for, like, when you get kicked out of the house and you want to come back into the house, you have to show that parent that you are serious, that you are ready. You see what I'm saying? Like Captain McCall said, I'm about my father's business. Right. If you about that business and you ready to really, really apply everything that they told you to do from the way beginning, and you do it now, hey, you got the Most High on your side. See what I'm saying? You always want to remember this. It's always good when the Most High is on your side. But if he is on the other side of you, that's a problem. Or you being on the other side of the Most High. That's the opposite. And you don't want that. Okay? Because something bad can happen to you.
Right.
And worse things have happened to most people, but the Most High can probably get creative and figure out how to punish you or end your life. Keep going.
Verse 18. And they shall come thither, and they shall take away all the detestable things thereof, and all the abominations thereof from thence. Verse 19. Where you going? Verse 19. And I will give them one heart. It's like, if I could just say something about 18.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's going to come a time when this earth ain't going to be eating bats. When they ain't going to be eating dogs. Anywhere. There's going to come a time when human trafficking will be abolished. And if anybody's caught in doing that practice, you're going to get put to death.
Right.
It's going to go back to the old ways. There's going to come a time when crack cocaine will never exist.
Right.
Where heroin will never exist. Cigarettes will never exist.
It'll be a goddamn joke.
Yeah.
By the time our children have children, and they see certain things in the museum, it's going to be a joke that a pale saltine cracker was oppressing, niggas. Spicks and wetbacks. It's what they call us. It's going to be a goddamn joke. It's like, great-great-grandfather, you are joking. Great-great-grandmother, you are just joking. Like, no, this is real life. It's going to be a joke, you know what I mean, in the future. Right now, it's not much of a joke. It's real life. It's reality. We are living in it. Black on black crime. Just living. I mean, okay, like we all been here before, but just knowing this life that we have as of right now, as of Officer Maccabi, as Officer Mungabar. See what I'm saying? At the ages and the lifestyles that we live from the past up to now, like it's hard. It's going to be kind of hard in the future to be like, damn, like we really went through all this, huh? We are so used to black on black crime. We're so used to police brutality that it seems unreal that it would never stop. You feel me? But there is going to be a time, and it's very true. Ezekiel spoke about it, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Yahushai, Ezra or Esdras. They all spoke about a day that's going to come when Yahushua returns, and that those things will no longer exist no more. It sounds unreal, it sounds like a fairy tale, but something that's going to come to pass. And I know it might sound Christian, but I feel it in my bones. All right, go ahead.
And we got proof of it in the UPK because you got faithful men and women, brothers and sisters that are having children,
right,
born in this truth.
Yeah,
that are never gonna know the taste of bacon,
man. They're not.
The smell of marijuana in the house. The concept of homosexuality being a regular, sociological comfort zone for people. We got brothers and sisters being born right now. The oldest one that I can think of that was actually born in the truth, Captain Captain Maria, General Muhammad's son. That's the only brother that I can think of that I personally have met and known like that was born in the truth.
Right.
Whereas everybody else from the outside, we had to go through that hell. We were part of that hell. We contributed to that hell.
Right.
And now we repenting, changing our ways, coming back home. You got brothers and sisters that are being born into the truth.
Right.
That we could say are perfect. Because they're keeping that law and that culture from the start. That's all that they know. We're seeing this come to focus. This is happening now.
Yeah.
Like this thing is happening.
That's right. That's right. Hey, you're damn right. Absolutely. I mean, it's really a blessing. Also, too, I remember Captain Ariel, just a sidebar. I remember asking him about, being born into the truth and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I was like, that's a blessing. It's amazing.
Right.
And like like me and him was talking, he had told me although I was born in the truth, just understand from my perspective, my fight is no different than your fight. Right. He said, I still battle.
Right.
See what I'm saying? I still battle to want to do certain things that I know that is unlawful, but this is what comes with the territory as far as the flesh. Yep. And when he said that shit was so hardcore because I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? Because and I see why he said that too. Because I was so young at the time, like me and him was both officers at that time. And I remember just kind of like, based on how I asked him, I'm just like, wow, just pretty much kind of praising him, saying like, he's special. But, he pretty much said, look, I ain't shit, I ain't special. Although I was born into the school, I still fight just like anybody else fights. But, I just, I get all the necessary help that I can to bypass all that. So that way I don't fall. You see what I'm saying? How many people have failed, behind the influence of the world. And that was beautiful, man. And now we got Captain 10,000 Ariel. You feel me? So yeah, hey, most time in Christ, man. All right, I'm ready.
It's like if I wish I went through the same thing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, absolutely. Thing. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
No,
Matthew.
No different than us.
Yeah. Book of Matthew. Yeah.
We in this boat together. So we got to finish that trip together.
Right, because even this, in the book of Hebrews, Christ said that he came in the form of not of the angels, but of his brethren. And there was a reason why. Because he wanted to be just like them. He wanted to set an example, like, look, I'm just like y'all. Now I'm going to make it an example. You feel me? Now, angels don't have temptations. I mean, like, angels have flesh, but they don't have flesh. All right? Angels can't even give into marriage. They don't have temptation. What's up? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, you feel me? So, like they don't have temptations. They don't have the, just what we go through. They don't have flesh, so to speak. All right. They look like humans, but they don't desire what we desire. There are some angels, in the heavens who don't eat or drink. Imagine that. Like, good night. Imagine not eating or drinking. I always want me some goddamn water and some food. I mean, every couple of hours or something. You know what I mean? So imagine that. And then no desire to like or dislike anything in a sense. And that's crazy, man. Like the Most High is a great author of everything in this earth. You know what I'm saying? That's something I believe that's something I can never think of. All right, to make a creation like that. All right, but keep going.
Verse 19. And I will give them one heart, and I will put a new spirit within you.
Right.
And I will take the stony heart out of their flesh, and I will give them a heart of flesh.
There you go. And that relates to what Uncle I said earlier. He's talking about breaking the old covenant. Now that new spirit, this is a restart, a reset. This is that new covenant. The Most High, time and time after again and again, the Most High has tried to give us a new start. When the Most High could have destroyed us,
right?
He could have destroyed us a long, long time ago. But he kept giving us chances and chances after chances. And at time after time, after all the captivities that we have been into, he still decides to give us a chance. So, with that being said, I mean, he's going to give us a new spirit. And that is in the ISUPK. As soon as you come into the ISUPK, you have a new spirit. You don't have that old spirit no more. You have something brand new. And it's like it's living water. Like the truth, the law is the breath of life. All right. And all that goes back to Adam too, because that's another story that we can get into any day. All right, let's move forward unless you want to say something.
Couldn't have said any better.
God, no sweat.
That they may walk in my statutes and keep my ordinances and do them, and they shall be my people, and I will be their God.
There you go. Ooh, and that is so beautiful the way that it's perfectly said. See what I'm saying? The Most High saying, look, you will be my people and I will be your God. Like I will hand myself over to you if you do what I tell you to do. Like that is perfect. You know what I mean? And so it's like to put it in modern terms, going back to the household, when your parents kick you out, you see what I'm saying? You are despised and you are shunned and you are like a bastard to them. But when you are accepted back into the home, you are now my daughter again. You are now my son again. See what I'm saying? I gained my son back. I gained my daughter back. But if you want to be a Muslim, not in my house. You want to be a homosexual, not in my house. You feel me? You want to be a drug addict. You want to cause envy and strife and disruption in here, not in my house. But if you want to stop all those things and listen to me, you are accepted back and you are my daughter. You are my son. You are my kin. You are part of the family again. And that's how it is, man. It's really the same spirit if you put it into that perspective. All right, keep going.
Verse 21.
And this is a bomb-ass chapter, by the way.
Verse 21. But as for them whose heart walketh after the heart of their detestable things and their abominations, I will recompense their way upon their own heads, saith the Lord God.
Good night. The Most High is letting you know, like, there's going to be some punishment. If you decide to disobey and go the opposite route of what the Most High is telling you, the Most High is going to rain hell on your head. That's what that means. Okay? One second. Salaki. Hey, Lonnie. Young man. All right. So that's what they're talking about. You want to add on to that?
Kind of.
Yeah, go ahead.
Most High didn't give you free will.
Absolutely not.
He didn't give these laws, statutes, commandments to the other nations, but he did not give them free will either.
Right.
So as it says in 21, but for them whose heart walketh after the heart of their detestable things and their abominations. The modern, I guess the old school term for free will, so the modern term is free will. The old school way of thinking would have been your will.
Right, there you go. Yeah.
You're following after your lust, your desires, your heart, your abomination, your detestable things.
Right.
That's not free will.
Right.
We were not given options. We were told, like, listen, you do this, this will happen. You do this, this will happen. That's not saying go ahead and do this just so you can suffer the consequences. But he's letting you know, listen, if you play with fire, you're gonna get burned.
Right.
That's not giving you the open highway to go play with fire. But he's letting you know the consequences of going this route and that route.
Right.
We've experienced those consequences. We still living through that hell right now. And like Iron was saying, if we serve our power, that's a possessive thing too. If we serve our power,
right,
we will be vindicated.
Right.
We will be justified. Our enemies will become his enemies. And he will give us peace. And he will give us safety.
Right.
And we ain't gotta live on the streets. And we ain't gotta be hungry and homeless.
Right.
And our children ain't gotta be abused and molested.
Right.
And our parents, the parenting system out here ain't gotta fail.
Right.
When we come back home, we'll learn how to be men and women, how to be brothers and sisters to each other.
That's right.
So that we're not going to jail for fighting each other.
Right.
9 out of 10 times, we ain't going to jail for fighting somebody else.
Right.
We're fighting each other. Predominantly. We hurting our families.
Right.
Predominantly.
That's right.
So to get out of them curses, because those are some of the curses that were inflicted upon us when we broke the law.
Right.
He's given us a solution on how to fix these conditions and these problems by keeping the law.
Right.
Because, like he said in verse 20, they that walk in my statutes and keep my ordinances. Again, very possessive things. My statutes, my ordinances. Not what Joe Biden decrees.
Right.
Or what Putin says.
Right.
Or what YouTube says, or what social media says. A lot of you are too influenced by that. And do them, and they shall be my people, and I will be their God. That's heavy. That's something a lot of people choose to ignore because of Christianity, because of homosexuality, and because of this government in this society. In Islam, Catholicism, Judaism, Buddhism, Hinduism, atheism, Scientology, this, that, and the third.
Right.
It makes the concept of, and I don't mean to put this blanket on us, but religion, a joke. But this isn't a religion. These are the records of Israel. It's something completely separate. This ain't the records of Moab. This ain't the records of the Hagarine, of Ammon, of the Ball.
Hey, if you could, bring her back in the room.
The sister trying to play chess. But it's important that we hold on to these customs and to these laws. Our customs, our laws, given by our power, instead of confiding in everything else that make you feel good out here. Like Adam once said, this ain't to make you feel good book.
That's right.
This ain't a comfort blanket. But and ironically enough, you find comfort in this book when you abide by it. If you want to go against the grain, it's going to be rough.
There you go.
If you want to come back home, if you're tired of the drug abuse, if you're tired of the murder,
right? If
you're tired of the violence and the robbery and the cultural appropriation, if you're tired of the lies, come back home. But if you're gonna live in this house, who was it? Joseph, John, for me in my house.
Man,
we gonna keep
John.
this.
I think it's John.
We gonna keep this.
Right.
So,
that's what. No, that was perfect. I mean, that was really pretty much on point, and that's like everything that the brother said is pretty much in that precept. All right, that last precept, verse 21. And that's what it's talking about. That's the basis of it. That's what it means. Okay. And so, I mean, with that being said, I mean, you should like slack, excuse my language. I can't say it better than what he just said. You know what I mean? Because he hit every point there is possible. All right. So that being said, that's the end of it. We're gonna go ahead and say, go ahead, say it again.
Imagine. Stay.
Yeah, right. Yes. I began mixed up. Farmers rise.
Do I have set?
No, that's fine. No. The rule is I'm which is stand up, imagine, stand up.
Right,
Everyone stand up. Okay.
Upon Yakudon, turn to face the east. Lord's Prayer in Hebrew, find it in Matthew chapter 6, verse 8 through 13. Yahweh. Malakuka. Salaki.
Oh, Salaki. Yeah,
Salaki. Got the glare. It was.
Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemayim. Kadash. Hayah. Shemikah. Yahweh. Malakuka. Taba'ah. Atazaka. Hayah. Aisha. Barak. Kawah. Hayah. Bashamayim. Katalana. Lakam. Ko. Yawon. Wasalakna. Kabawatina. Kasalakna. Kabawatina. Wala'ah. Tabiyana. Manasawan. Abo. Abshana. Mayan. Right. Kaya. Makat. Malakwa. Wa'al. Wa'atapura. La'ulamni.
Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father.
Which
art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Yahweh. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not to temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. Amen.
Psalm 121 in Hebrew. Asha'ah. Ayanya. Al-Fahar. Ma'ayan. Yaba'ah. Azari. Ma'ayin. Yahweh. Aisha. Shemayim. Barakazah. Ayatan. Namawat. Galaka. Al-Yanawam. Shamar. Kanat. La'ah. Yanawam. Wala'ah. Yayashun. Shalomar. Yasha'ah. Yahweh. Shamar. Yahweh. Azalka. Al-Yad. Yam. Yawamam. Ashamash. La'ah. Yakaka. Wairak. Balayala. Yahweh. Yashamar. Kawarak. Yashamar. Atnafas. Yahweh. Shamar Taza Africa. Wabuwa'aka. Ma'aika. Wa'ai. Awalong.
In English, I will lift up mine eyes.
To the hills.
From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day. Nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out. And thy coming in. From this time forward. And ye forevermore.
Perfect power of God in Israel. It's like an eagle. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Baruch Nathanahu. Bakat. La Rafa'ah. Call Makalat. Call Marawat. Bakat. Atahar. Hamatazari. Bakat. Laquat, Salaki, Lahakam,
Lahakum,
Hamati,
Amati,
Hakat,
Akat,
Arakawat,
Arakawat,
Tatamal,
Asma'ala,
Garsh,
Garsh,
Bashim Yahushai,
Rashim Yahushua,
Wadaman,
Wadaman. Power in English, Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Name Yahushua.
Name Yahushai.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
Power to heal all manner of sickness.
Power to heal all manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
Power to cleanse the leper.
Power to cleanse the leper.
Power to raise the dead.
Power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean
Power
spirits.
against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
Cast them out.
In the name of Yahushua.
Name Yahushai.
Thank you so be.
Thank you so be. Pray to bless Israel in the evening. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
Barakmanau.
Rakmanau.
Bayat Sha'ala.
Bayat Sha'ala.
Bayat, or it's like Wahab.
Wahab.
Bayat Sapari.
Bayat Sapari.
Barak.
Barak.
Raba'at.
Raba'at.
Hagun.
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 Again, at this time, you can say the name of the loved one once, and when it repeats that name once, you still following us on social media, type in the name of the loved one, we'll send the prayers up with you.
All right, Ashley, I'm just going to go over these names again, just real quick. Dwayne Davis.
Dwayne Davis.
Inawa.
Anwa.
Azara.
Azara.
Kawa.
Kawa.
All right, Maddie.
Maddie.
Justine.
Justine.
Izara.
Azara.
The Kelly's family.
The Kelly's family.
The Wiley family.
Wiley family.
House of Tarak.
House of Tarak.
Joel Washington.
Joel Washington.
Imro Johnson.
Imran. Imran.
Johnson.
Imran Johnson.
Okay. Kenneth Johnson.
Kenneth Johnson.
All right. All of Israel.
All of Israel.
ISUPK, Minnesota.
ISUPK, Minnesota.
Israelite School, UPK.
Israelite School, UPK.
Kodash Zion.
Kodash Zion.
Tarak.
Tarak.
Amunkabar.
Amunkabar.
Kanagabar.
Kanagabar.
Tawala.
Tawala.
Tim. Cliff. Kabad Tabak.
Kabad
Tabak. Kanaya Allah.
Kanaya Allah.
Yafadash.
Yafadash.
Sathar Ya'ala.
Sathar Ya'ala.
Nakaya. All of Israel.
All of Israel. Israelite School, UPK.
Israelite School, UPK.
All of Israel.
All of Israel. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
Oh, yeah. Angels.
Angels.
Generals.
Generals.
Captains.
Captains.
Officers.
Officers.
Troopers. Students. Sisters. Children. All of Israel.
All of Israel.
Shagar Ariyah.
Shagar Ariyah.
All of Israel.
All of Israel.
Raphael. Raphael Allah.
Raphael.
Ketamar Kwai.
Ketamar Kwai.
Bar Math.
Bar Math.
Lamak Ya'ala.
Lamak Ya'ala.
Kariyash.
Kariyash.
Iwalam.
Iwalam.
All of Israel.
All of Israel. Bashim Yahushai.
Bashim Yahushai.
Wadaman.
Bless Israel in English. Lord, in the name of Yahushai.
Lord, in the name of Yahushai.
Bless us in Israel.
Bless us in Israel.
In the school. Bless Hill should protect.
Bless Hill should protect.
Love me. In the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it.
Psalms 83 in the evening.
Alahayim.
Al-Dam Yalaka.
Al-Dam Yalaka.
Al-Tafarash.
Al-Tafarash.
Wal-Tashquat.
Wal-Tashquat.
Oh.
Kiyana.
Wabika. Yaham
Yuwan.
Ra'ash. Al-Amak.
Al-Amak.
Ya'irayam. Sawad. Wayata Ya'itazwa. Al-Tazwa. Amaru. Lakawa.
Say that.
Lakawa. Wanakakidam. Magawi. Wala'a Yazakar. Sham Yasha'al. Awad. Kaya. Naitazwa. Laba. Yakaru. Ayaka. Baryak. Yakurat. Ahali. Adawam. Bayashamai Alayam. Mawab. Wahagari. Kabal. Wa'amwa. Wa'amlat. Al-Shak. Am-Yashaki. Tazawar. Gamashu. Nalawa. Yeah, I heard it. Amam. Hayawa. Zarawat. Labani. Salat. Aisha. Laham. Kamadi. Kasiyah Sara'ah. Kayabi. Banakal. Wayashwan.
La Shemada.
La Shemada.
Bayan Da'ar.
Bayan Da'ar.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Daman.
Daman.
La Dam.
La Dam.
Sa'atam.
Shantam.
Nariyamawa.
Nariyawa.
Kaira.
Kaira.
Wakizaba.
Waska'aba.
Wakizaba.
Wakizaba.
Wakizal.
Wakizal.
Manai.
Nine.
Call Nasaitam.
Call Nasa Come.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Amar.
Amar.
Nairash.
Narayash.
Lanawa.
Nanawa.
Atha.
Atha.
Nawa.
Nayawa.
Alahain.
Alahain.
Alahaya.
Alaya.
Sa'atam.
Shantam.
Kagalgala.
Kagalga.
Kakwash.
Kakwash.
Lapani Rauka.
Lapani Rawakwa.
Kaash.
Kaash.
Tabayra Yair.
Tabayra Yair.
Wakalahab.
Wakalahab.
Talahat.
Talahat.
Hari.
Hari.
Kam.
Kam.
Tardab.
Tardab.
Basari.
Basari.
Wabasa Wapaka.
Wapasa Wapaka.
Wabasa Wapaka.
Wapasa Wapaka.
Tablaham.
Talaham.
Malaat.
Mala'a.
Panyam.
Panyam.
Walawan.
Palawan.
Wayab Bakwashu.
Wayab Bakwash.
Shamkash.
Shika.
Yahoo.
Yahal.
Tabashu.
Bash.
Wayat.
Wayab.
Bahau.
Wahom.
Ayahai.
Aja'ai.
Wayat.
Wayab.
Kaparu.
Kapal.
Wayat.
Wayab.
Baru.
Apa.
Wayat.
Wayab.
Daibu.
Dai.
Kaya Ata.
Kaya Atta.
Shamkash.
Shika.
Yahoo.
Yahal.
Labaka.
Batka.
Ayuan.
Amun.
Ah. Ko.
Call.
Rakaza.
Aratsa. In the English, Psalms 83 in the English. Do not thy silence.
Not that
Oh
side.
God.
Oh God.
Just like it. Oh Yahweh.
Oh Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Not that peace.
And be not still.
You're not still.
Oh Yahweh.
Oh Yahweh.
For lo,
Below.
thy enemies make a tumult.
And you make it something.
And they that hate thee
They that hate you.
have lifted up the head.
Lift it up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They can grab the count
against thy people
against our people.
and consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted against our enemy.
They have said,
They said,
come,
come.
let's cut them off for being a nation,
Let's cut them off from being a nation.
that the name of Israel
In the name of Israel.
may be no more in remembrance.
There's no more remember.
That they have consulted together with one consent.
They have consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against
They
thee.
are confederate against
The tabernacles of Edom
Tabernacle of Edom
and the Ishmaelites
and the Israelites
of Moab,
of Moab,
the Garims,
and Gad,
the Baal,
the Ball,
Ammon,
and Ammon,
Amalek,
and Ammon.
the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre,
The Philistines, the inhabitants of Tyre.
Ashur also joined with them.
Ashur is also doing with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot,
So open the children of Lot.
Salah,
Salah.
doing to them as unto the
And
Midianites,
unto them is unto the Midian.
as to Sisera,
As the sister,
as to Jabin,
as Japan,
at the brook of Kison,
the brook Kison,
which Perizat endured.
the Paris and
They
Endor,
became as dung for the earth,
became as dung for the earth.
make the nobles like Orid,
The nobles like the
and
word,
like Zeb,
like Z,
yea,
yea,
are the princes as Sabbath,
all the princes of Bach,
and as Moon.
and as a moon.
You said,
He said,
let us take to ourselves
let's say to ourselves,
the house of God
the
possession.
house of God possession.
Oh my God,
Oh my God,
make it like a wheel,
make him like a wood,
as the stubble before the
as
wind,
the stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth the wood,
the fire burneth the wood,
as the flames set the mountains on fire.
the flames set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy
So
tempest,
persecute them with that thing,
and make them afraid with thy storm.
make them afraid with that storm.
Fill the faces with shame,
To the face of the shame,
that they may seek thy
they
name.
might seek thy name.
O Lord,
O Lord,
let them be confounded in trouble
let them be confounded in trouble
forever.
forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame and perish,
let them be put to shame and buried.
that men may know that
That men
thou,
may know, Salaki, that men may know that thou,
whose name alone is Yahweh,
whose name alone is Yahweh,
art the most high over all the
and
earth.
the most high over all the earth.
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
Blessed be Yahweh,
King of heaven and
in
earth,
heaven and earth,
and all things living.
all things live.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahweh Shai,
and the name of Yahweh Shai.
listen to us now,
Listen to us now,
right now,
right now.
some evils and curses,
That he was encouraged,
and punishment and destruction
punishment and destruction
to the heathen
to the heathen
that speak against
that
us,
speak against us.
thy prophets,
Thy
the
prophets,
teachers,
the
the princes, the
princes,
priests, the
priests,
Israelite brothers,
the Israelite
in
brothers,
the school,
in the schools,
the evil and curses,
and he was encouraged,
punishment and destruction
punishment and destruction
to the heathen,
to the heathen,
and shake loose
and shake
the
the
treasure of the rich of Israel,
treasure of the rich of
that
Israel,
refuse to give to the school,
that refused to give to the school,
force their riches,
force their riches,
to enter thy sanctuary,
then to thy
and
sanctuary,
evils and curses,
and he was encouraged,
punishment and destruction
punishment and destruction
to the Edomites,
to the
and
Edomites,
the nations,
and the
and
nation,
the drug dealers,
drug
the
the
court system,
forces,
prison system,
prison system,
Planned Parenthood,
Planned Parenthood,
all the governments of our enemies,
all the governments of our enemies,
Emirate synagogues and armies,
Amalek synagogues and all,
Roman Catholic Church,
Roman Catholic Church,
Pope,
Pope,
Islam,
Islam,
Christianity,
Christianity,
Scientology,
Catholic,
militia,
Melissa,
Ku Klux Klan,
Klux Klan,
Aryan Nation,
Nation,
Skinheads,
and it,
Hajj
sanitized,
gay movement, the lesbian, spies, works of witchcraft, NASA space program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet, and the airways, cable access channel, and the radio channel. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction to all of you that stand in the way, and try to stop us from broadcasting your word throughout the planet Earth. Let them spoil the place, cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the place shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let the house shine. Michael and Gabriel come down to flying saucers, quench all the evil that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause we know by all that it is the angels that have done it. Cause it be spread through the media throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake out that coming. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you always. So be it.
Son.
Good, my son. With that concludes the Sabbath service. All right. Shalom.